So, I'm under an injunction not to do any footage of the campsite, but here I sit actually within the tent, and because I deem it to be the People's Republic of under the canvas, so I'm going to do a bit on the tents. Now, unlike tents that we took to Abbott Park, which Poppet rightly calls sort of gimmick tents in a way, this is the Dovedale, Peakland Dovedale 300. I bought it about late 90s, maybe 1999, maybe 2000, you know, so it's 18 years old. It's still pretty much pristine, but as you can see, it's got an inner tent and an outer tent, which gives you that security at night that if it rains, it's only, you know, but plus the waterproofing is good anyway. It's sort of tall enough to stoop in to pull your pants on, with a struggle. When I say pants, I've been corrupted by the local lingo. I meant trousers. They call them pants round here. And, you know, dome tent, spacious enough. Because there's an inner and outer, you don't get that condensation on the inside of the tent skin like we did at Abbott Park, where you, even if it hadn't rained, you got a little bit of a sprinkling shower in the morning, so condensation sort of shook itself off. And there's Poppet sat there with the kettle and the views. I think that's possibly all I'm allowed to show of this campsite. Just a shame I can't show you the outside of the tent and the mule train again. But there we go, just having a cup of tea. I was just on a little footpath above where we're staying, and apparently this was called the Postie path, when post people delivered on foot, or perhaps even by pony. And this was the path they used to get up to a place called, I'm not sure if I pronounced this right, High Althurst Side. I'm not sure if I've said that right. Where I've read in little biographies of books people have published locally, used to be a school. So probably school children from the outlying farms used to walk this path in the morning and at night on the way home, or in the evening, you know, going to and from school. So there's always a little snippet of history somewhere. Footpaths, trails, things, you know. As usual, our usual starting time, it's the crack of midday, noon exactly. About our usual starting time by the time we've got our butties made and everything. So quite often we only just get out on a trail, a mile or two, and then we have lunch. But at least we're picnicking out. I suppose that's the main thing. Isn't it, Poppet?
Yes.
It is. Yeah. Oh. Well, looky here. A hung gate. That makes it a former pack horse and mule trail in my book. Having one of these here. There's a bit of a ford and a wash here when the weather's wet. Oh look, another fiddle gate post. It hasn't got a round one opposite, but it would have done before it got enlarged. Oh yes, there's a bit of a beck comes down there. Just look at this lovely little ginnel. It's roasting hot outside, in the sun, I mean, you know. And yet in here it's just a cool little shady corridor. Beautiful. It's magic. This is very nice. It's just wonderful. A little peephole, blow if not. So that postie path comes down here and intersects the old railway track bed, and this is on the bridle path bit that you can cycle and walk on. Goes down to Broughton. But here we have an underpass, taking the footpath under and through to the other side. Another hung gate here, which to my mind confirms it as being a proper sort of pack mule route from Woodland farm near Broughton up to High Althurst, whatever that name is, on the Torver Road. Yeah, this is just beyond that cut through, that underpass under the railway. It's just a nice bit of freshly restored stone walling down there. Look at that, beautiful. Beautiful job. I actually sat under an oak tree having our picnic on the footpath between Mireside and Crag End. You see this wonderful dead branch we're sat on, and then behind me and behind Poppet there's another oak tree, and another one beyond that too. Oak trees, and there's little acorns, acorn cups from the last crop of acorns on the ground around my feet. Big oak trees as well. Good shipbuilding trees probably. There's those 3 oak trees. And just in the foreground here you can see a slight trace of a holloway, and under that tree is yet another hung gate. So yes, holloway, frequent traffic, ponies, all livestock of course as well, but you know, it's all very much looking like a transport route. Just coming up to Crag End Farm, another nice little tree lined avenue. Phew. Which keeps you out of the sun for a bit, which is good today. Oh, roasting hot out there. Some nice new gates put in by the Lakes Authority. Yeah. There's another beauty from the past. So National Park Authority have been putting in these beautiful gates, make it obvious where to go, don't they? And it's just looking back across where we've come past the oak trees, and there's Mireside Farm, and we came down from up the hill up there, down the postie path, and there's Coniston in the background actually, catching Junga. This is Galloper Pool, this little rivulet. It's not normally as dry as this, but it has been a very hot summer so far. There's a little bridge, footbridge, that'll take us over towards Woodland Hall. Where we're going next, maybe by Fell End Barn. There's Coniston Hills just there. Now, correction, just looking at the map, this rivulet is called Kirby Pool. although again looking at the map it doesn't seem to communicate to Kirby and Sandside. You know, it's not that pool, if you like, which is tidal at its mouth. At least it doesn't appear to be. So, Kirby Pool, but we're nowhere near Kirby. Fancy that. Dud mystery. Looking towards Broughton. Down there's that bridge over Kirby Pool, and some haymaking going on because the weather's been so good for drying the hay. Stickle pike, core. Phew. This is Woodland Hall. And up that track there, that leads to Fell End Barn, which is a bunk barn, which you can find on the Lakeland Bunk Barns network or something like that, where it's just a low facilities stopover. A giant's grave up there, blow if not. On this little lane that comes from Woodland Church along to Ringstone Farm, which is just round the corner there, in the wall there's this. Now, is it a mozza or is it an actual bloom? It might actually be a bloom because it's not very mozza-esque, but it's definitely metallic and iron. So I wonder if there's any more. Poppet has just pointed out this particularly yellow lichen. Looks like lemon sherbet, doesn't it? Not seen it that hue before. And there's a few little outcrops, if that's the right word of it, along here. So it must favour this stone and this climate, facing this direction or whatever. Yeah. That's quite unusual. Just a little bit of artistic moss and lichen footage. Look at that one. You almost want to lick it, don't you? Style. And another little footbridge. I can hear the water trickling. Come off for mosses, this little step style, and unusually there's an OS benchmark on that step with a metal pin to identify the spot. It's just this curious little structure here, which is probably just a little barn. But look at that wall there. And everything's just hanging on that rather spuriously rotten or rotting timber lintel. So there's quite a big doorway there, quite a big aperture, and then a more conventional doorway there with a stone lintel. You can see how that corner end is leaning towards me. As a friend of mine would say, it's a listed building, and it's listing seriously. That's probably not going to be there for much longer. Another complete ruin soon.